progress. How much of this is really reflective of the local population? And, there's not so much disclosure around how they got around even the data being used to train this system. So again, we're talking about real issues that have and could have real impact on people. Increasingly, we are also seeing, even in Africa, deployment of also automated systems in warfare, which of course takes warfare away from the traditional way we've always reimagined it to a whole different level. So, what are responsible AI practices? Again, there's a whole lot of conversation around what this should look like. But for throughout the entire life cycle, from development to deployment to use, it's making sure we build fair system that are also embedded in whatever way we choose to define what ethics means for us. But these things should also be aligned with human and social values. And all of this could look like things that have been regurgitated over a period of time, but these are things that we need to amplify. This is the kind of framing and conversation that we need to have every time, because again, it's very easy to lose sight of the race to build the most intelligent system. Again, whatever it is that you're chasing or you're aspiring to do. But more importantly, is also ensuring whatever it is that we're doing, it's grounded in the context of our societal value and also what human rights looks like for us. Then it's also very key to look at everything through the entire life cycle itself, from design to deployment and even ongoing monitoring. And this is like one interesting point you see in newer AI interventions or regulations, where ongoing market intelligence and monitoring is a key requirement. But then it's also very important to talk about ethics, but more importantly, is how to operationalize. What is this really going to look like in practice? That's also something that is very important. Then moving on from that is, how do we then marry ethics with the conversation of responsible AI?
Sorry for interjecting. We have about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes to go.
All right, thanks. Thanks for the heads up. All right, I'm almost done actually. So again, one of the key things that it's been part of wider industry conversation when it comes to things like this is, first, there's a need to have some sort of interdisciplinary. Yes, please. In the world again. So interdisciplinary collaboration for ethical AI, first is always going to be, what does ethics look like across societies where we operate, across societies where the technologies are being deployed, or the markets we serve, if you're on the manufacturing side. What does ethics looks like to this side of the world, and making sure we can account for these things. It's always going to be very important. Yeah. Then also legal policy perspective, what does regulation look like? What does governance look like? Social science point of view, technical expertise, human rights advocacy, environmental conversation or considerations, healthcare, economic impact. All of these forms are very key components in thinking about interdisciplinary conversation. And then just going to get around what regulation looks like in Africa currently. There's a whole conversation about whether we need to have an AI-specific law, or whether we just need to look at the existing body of laws that we have and try to upgrade or update or review them. A lot of literatures you read will start from saying, oh, there are no specific AI laws in Africa, but it doesn't mean that our AI is currently being deployed. There are no regulations to police them. From data protection to competition law to consumer protection, product safety, environmental protection, intellectual property, and so many domains, they already do exist. And these laws are, especially for the ones that are drafted in principle-based style, they can be interpreted broadly to sort of address some of AI risk. Product safety laws creates responsibilities on producers of things that are being deployed to the public or to the markets. Another thing also is that there are also things around liability regimes that different African countries already have. So what interventions currently look like is we're seeing countries developing AI strategy. Nigeria has a draft strategy. We're seeing national policies. There are countries developing their principles, codes, industry standards. We're seeing sector-specific regulations. There are a lot of regulations around things like global advisory. But what you see, what this document try to do or regurgitate is also trying to reemphasize how ethics or principles should be implemented into product and also deployment. One key thing also is Nigeria has two different AI bills currently, and it's also trying to legislate. And one of the bills that I've been able to see, for example, is also just trying to give a statutory backing or legal backing to some of these principles that we know already. So what the future will look like is they will go from principles to becoming core legal obligations. And this is the last part of my presentation. I'm just going to leave this. So again, one key thing is always going to be very important. Whether you're a deployer, a user, it's always going to need your AI governance framework. And for so many organizations that we know already, there are existing governance framework in place. There are existing governance committee in place. So leverage that already. You don't need to build anything new. Just make AI part of the mandates that this governance committee have. There is a need to have policies to sort of deal with this. Generative AI was an interesting conversation. Organizations at first, oh, you can use it. Okay, fine, we can live with it because now it looks like there's no way we can actually stop people from using it. So how can we make sure it's being used responsibly? We don't take personal and proprietary information into the environment, and then basically allowing the AI to learn from it, and then we can start dealing with data breach some of the time. Diversity in composition to address social, some systemic issues like bias, ethics training, find ways to mitigate bias. A lot has been written about this already, and there are a whole lot of tools that are also available to do this. Risk assessment is always going to be very important, whether it's fundamental rights, data protection impact assessments, algorithm impact assessments, vulnerability assessments, whatever form of assessment, security assessments. You're always going to be you're always going to need this, and this saves a lot of trouble when, especially they are dealt with at the very early stage before things get to the markets. Again, integrating ethics into project life cycles, human oversight, monitoring and always consistent monitoring and intelligence, engaging stakeholders, but more importantly, the need to comply with the existing laws. We're not going to wait for an AI-specific law to come. There are existing laws in place that create different obligations, and it's very important to pay attention to what these laws are saying. And at this point, I'd like to thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope we can continue to have this conversation. And congratulations to the organizers of this event. So thank you.
Well, that was a very, very interesting session. I'm very sure we have a lot of takeaways, right? Even though it's virtual, right? I know how it is. Look, we are both humans, right? We know how it is when, you just seated and listening. Some of us get distracted. It's totally normal, right? No one is a superhuman, right? But I'm sure that you were able to pick one or two things from that session. All right, please, if you can hear my voice, would like for everyone outside to come in, right? It's getting more interesting, so please come in if you can hear my voice as we move to the next item on our agenda. All right? So please come in. All right, so the next item on our agenda is a session by Flora Oladipupo. She's going to be speaking on leveraging AI for financial inclusion among low-resource language speakers in Africa. All right, please give Flora a round of applause as I give her the mic.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Flora Oladipupo, and I'm a data scientist and also an AI researcher. So I do AI research, basically in different domains, but for the African space. So that's who I am, basically. So I'll be speaking on the topic, leveraging AI for financial inclusion among low-resource language speakers in Africa. And my agenda is on the screen. So I'll basically be talking about how inclusive finances in Africa and up until AI models for low-resource languages. So next slide, please. So talking about how inclusive finances in Africa, first of all, I know we are familiar with this phrase, banking the unbanked. We keep hearing it over and over again, especially in the fintech space. So everyone says, oh, I'm building a solution for those people who are unbanked. And at the end of the day, when you see the solution, you feel like, oh, did this really help people become banked, or is just another competitive product for an already existing solution. So looking at a research carried out by CERM, it has been seen that 57% of adults in Africa are currently unbanked. And this research was actually carried out in 2022. So I don't know the data up until 2024. But the thing still remains that basically the rural communities are the ones most affected by this. They are the ones that are still not banked. They are the ones that are still excluded financially. They are the ones facing financial inclusion. And looking at the things that, factors that causes it, one of it is mistrust. First of all, you are coming to meet the average market seller, telling her, oh, come and open a bank account. And she's thinking, why should I open a bank account since there's the local Ajo people that I can just give my money to. There's the Lakpo people that I can always get a loan from. And you are trying to convince her, and okay, she opens, but at the end of the day, she's not utilizing the bank account. So lack of trust is there, first of all. Then we also have limited product offering to these people. Are you really offering what she wants, what these people want? Or what you are offering is something that the big people already are the one going to benefit from it. Then we also have lack of accessible financial information. So when you are sharing information like, come and get a loan, come and get this, come and get that, it's usually in languages these people don't really understand. Or you're trying to educate them, trying to educate them financially, giving them financial literacy resources, but they don't understand. Next slide, please. So one of these key factors that causes this financial exclusion is language barrier. So like I said, you are meeting the average market seller who speaks probably Yoruba language, and you are speaking English to her, or even if you are speaking Yoruba to her, but the product you are offering is actually in English, and you expect her to like, oh, okay, I know the point you are coming from. That's a lie. They will just probably open the account, but they are not going to use it. So this language barrier is something people should actually consider. When you say you are building a fintech product, you want to bank the unbanked, are you looking at the language barrier in there for these low-resource languages? So before I go in, what is low-resource languages? So low-resource languages is not really a language that is just about the number of people speaking it, but it's more about representation. So representation in the sense that when you go online, you see content in English, and other high-resource languages like French, Spanish, but you hardly see content in Yoruba, Igbo, Swahili, or other low-resource African languages. So yeah, how do you make this inclusive? You have to make this inclusive, even though you want these people to actually take up, be financially literate and take up your products. So the lack of inclusive communication in this low-resource language should be addressed. Then also, the low financial literacy rate. So limited understanding. Okay, you're trying to tell a farmer to take up a loan, but they don't even understand the financial agreement in between. And sometimes this can also result in them, okay, everybody's making noise and it's distracting. Please, can you keep it down and just listen? My session is going to end in like 5 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so, no, I'm not done with that slide. Please, can you go back? Okay, so there is like lack of this language accessibility for these people. So you're trying to explain to a farmer why they should take up a loan with your financial product, but they don't even understand what you are saying. And at the end of the day, even if they take up the loan, so you come advertise to them, take up this loan of 100,000 without collateral. Okay, they take it up, but they don't understand all the nitty-gritties because they are speaking like a high-level, high-resource language which they're not really familiar with, and they end up in bad debts. So these are some things that should be considered if you say, oh, I'm building a fintech product to bank the unbanked. You can go to the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so looking at AI as a tool for this inclusion, AI is here to stay. AI is being utilized for a lot of things, and it can also help solving this problem. First of all, using AI to build a multilingual chatbot. So a chatbot that is not just specific on, how can I access this loan in English, but you have it in varieties of languages for these low resource speakers. So building a speech-to-text services where they can speak into it. So another example of how this financial literacy has affected a high number of these low-resource speakers are looking at scams rates. Sometimes these people receive calls. Okay, an OTP has been sent to you. Repeat this number back to me. And they don't know. They think, it's probably from their bank, and they tell these people. And at the end of the day, their money gets wiped away. How are you addressing these problems while building your product? It needs to be addressed. So building a system in which these people can be educated in their own language, where they know that, when you hear things like this, it is 419. 419, the person is a 419, or using this language they are familiar with, not just saying, this person is a fraudster. So using these languages they are familiar with can actually help bridge this gap. Next slide, please. So using AI models for these low-resource languages. So it's not like everyone in this room, we are all data people, data analysts, AI engineer, machine learning engineers. We all want to build model. But this model we are building, is it actually solving a particular problem? We need to consider that. So everyone wants to work with Llama, LLM model, but are we actually looking at the real issue, which is the data being used to build these systems? So you want to create a product for these selected users, for these selected speakers. Everyone is focused on working with the model, but we are forgetting about the most important part, which is the data. Is there any fintech company or any company actually collecting this data from these people that they are building these products from, getting this language, building this language gap? Or you are still making use of the European languages that these people are not really familiar with? So you want to solve a problem. Okay, so you want to use an existing solution, let's say Llama or Mistral model, to build something, but you don't even have the data to tell the model that, you should be able to tell these people that are using this product that when they see calls like this, which says, tell me the OTP, which we would never do, tell them that this is 419. So does the system even understand what 419 means? But we in the like people that are not using this product, we know what it is. So are we teaching this system we are building what all these things are that can actually bridge this financial literacy gap? So the models are there, the models are available. We as builders, we actually need to consider taking these models, using it to build these products, fine-tuning it. Everyone fine-tunes, yes, but don't ever forget the most important part, which is the data itself that you're using to build, that you're using to bridge this gap with these people. Next slide, please. So basically, AI is not just transforming financial services. It's actually bridging the gap between exclusion and empowerment by making financial literacy, security, and access available to everyone, regardless of the location or language. Next slide. Okay, so all in all, AI is here to stay. It's a game changer. Use it as this gap that you're using when you're building your product. Don't just say, I'm banking the unbanked, and build another variety of an already existing financial solution that we have. Instead, look outside the box. Look at how you are helping these people, how you are actually bringing them into the fold. You want to make them financially literate. You want them to make use of your product. Are you actually addressing the grassroots issue of why they're not using your product? So thank you for having me.
so much. Thank you very much for sharing. All right, I'm sure we're having a good time, right? So next item on our agenda is a sponsorship session. And I will be bringing up a team from Berkeley Data Strategists. I guess it's Mr. Adetokunbo or your team. Okay. All right, please make welcome Mr. Adetokunbo as he comes in to share with us. A round of applause, guys. Round of applause. Also, thank you.
Thank you.
Unleashing the power of data excellence with Berkeley Data Strategists. Introducing Adi Ajibola, CEO and Chief Data Strategist, Berkeley Data Strategists. The world of data management is becoming vast and spreads to all domains you can think of. Presently, the entire universe is driven by data. Unlocking its true potential requires expertise and strategy. We are proposing to be your partner in harnessing the power of data excellence. At Berkeley Data Strategists, we specialize in consultancy and training services, offering comprehensive solutions in data management, record management, data quality, and data governance. Our tailored training programs. Training workshop, always in progress. A few of the courses include data governance, data quality, records management, and a whole host of others. Knowledge is the key to unlocking your team's potential, and you can count on Berkeley Data Strategists.
Market people. Patient transformation. What's going on? Are you using AI? Because everybody wants AI. Abi? Okay. But do we have what AI actually wants? AI wants data that is trusted first time, every time. Data that you don't have to stop the pipeline. You cannot stop the pipeline to check it. There are two types of AI. There is the... What are the two types of AI? Sorry? Generative AI. And which other one? Responsive AI. Responsible. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? How many types of AI exist? Generative AI, then which other one? Huh? Gosh. There are two types of AI. There is the generative AI and there is the prescriptive AI. The one that will kind of like model and then provide something. The other one like that GPT, you put something inside, you prompt it, it tells you to do something, it gives you the answer. Now, if the AI platform does not have data that is trusted in first instance, everything that you do is irrelevant. Right. So my company is Berkeley Data Strategist. We are the foremost data management, training, consulting, and recruitment company of black origin in the UK. We also have now planted a seed in the United States. We are going to Kenya. We are already in Nigeria. We have been in Nigeria for 3 years. Now, please go to the next slide. What we do is, of course, we help organizations, we empower them with the ability to trust their data, basically, right? Next slide, please. Right. Experienced professionals, our team, we have data management experts in the UK, as I said, the US, Kenya, and in Nigeria here. We focus on specializing on strategic governance frameworks. So making sure that at the strategic level, your data is trusted. It's not just building platforms, writing codes and all that. Making sure that there's governance in place and there's management. Hence, empowering businesses so that they can leverage data as a strategic asset, which is exactly what is it. To take advantage of that data, to make the right analytics. I see people saying that they want to go and they are going to the UK to pay £22,000 to go and do MSc in data analytics. I'm thinking, what? You kidding me? Do you understand the beginning of the food chain? You just want to go and learn the end of it with £22,000. Just give me a little piece of that, and I'll connect all the dots for you. Next slide, please. So that's what we are. Of course, our mission is to enable organizations to fully utilize their data we have a vision to become the most trusted partner for data-driven transformation across all industries. I think in the UK, of course, we are well established. We are doing that. So now, for me, now this next vision now is, Africa, which Nigeria, of course, my origin is one of, if they allow us. Otherwise, there are so many countries. Next slide. We will do what we need to do. So services, data governance, data quality, privacy, from training and consulting point of view. But I think everybody here, I'm going to cut it short. I think what is most important to you, or what you might be interested in, is I want to encourage you to move away from just focusing on coding or calling yourself a data scientist in 2024, or thinking about machine learning. Yeah, it's good. Machine learning is good. But once that machine has learned what you have put in it, so what then happens? Who is responsible for making sure that what you are telling that machine to learn is the correct thing? You see what I mean? Those people, of course, they are needed in larger numbers, and they will become more and more relevant, right? Because your AI use cases will change. You're going to build in English, then you move to Igbo, you want to build it in Hausa, you want to build it in, all these other languages, and to make it to continue to evolve and do more things. All those things need these people who are going to make it trusted. Hence, there is a qualification which is a certified data management professional qualification. Not a lot of people know about it. And of course, I'm not surprised that it's very alien to most people in this part of the world. There are only 9,000 people in the world with this certification. I am one of them, a proud Nigerian. I have my chief of staff here. He's also a Nigerian, who is also one of actually 800 people that has the master level. So you can imagine if you have that kind of thing in your hand, people will be eating from your palms. If you ever want to leave the shores of this country, please do not board the plane without having this certification in your hand, unless you want to be cleaning bomb. Next slide, please. Yeah? I think I've spoken about some of this stuff before. I'll just educate you again, because I know a lot of people don't understand what data governance and data management means. Compliance, it helps organizations to adhere to industry regulations and standards, which means any industry regulation. It is regulation agnostic. The same approach that you will use to implement GDPR is the one you will use for NDPR. It's the one you will use for any regulations. In the financial services sector, we have the EMIR, Dodd-Frank, MiFID, FATCA, Basel 1, 2, 3, stress testing. All those regulations, the same thing, right? Then you have reduced risk. Of course, data is very good. Everybody sees it as an asset. It comes with risks. Because if you use the wrong data to make a decision, you make the wrong decision. So, data governance helps to reduce this risk, and then enhancing trust, so that the business functions get to a stage where they just take their data and they use it. They use it and they trust it. They trust it because they know there are policies in place, there are standards, there are clear roles and responsibilities around this data. In Nigeria, most people, especially if you come from where I come from, before you drink water, you first check whether it's water that is coming out from the tap. Then you have to boil it. You wait for it to cool down. Then you sip it, then you drink it. Right? That's the old way. That's the analysis part. Somebody else who has trusted water, who knows that what is coming out is water, because there are controls in place. He knows that they are building controls that brings that water into their house. There are standards on how houses should be built, how water should be piped into their house. They just open their tap, they drink the water, and they quench their thirst faster. They make the decision. Imagine if these two were two competitors in the same market, right? Trusted data, very, very important. For AI, of course, it's not debatable. Even for cloud, as we discussed earlier on, it's not debatable. Next slide, please. So those are why data governance is important. And the approach that we take when we work with our clients is, first we do an assessment, we check what they have in ground, and then we deploy a tailored data governance solution, because it's not one size fits all. Everybody's house is different. You have to understand what a particular company wants to do, where they are, where they want to get to, and then we give them the right approach. Then we train, and then we put in place some improvements governance processes as well. Next slide, please. In terms of industry where you can use these skills and where we have implemented it, financial services, healthcare, government, retail, is industry agnostic. Just get the certification. 8 weeks is what it takes. It doesn't take 3 months, right? This is not crowdfunding. This is 8 weeks, right? We go through the certification course module by module, 9 modules, and then you register and you take the certification exam. Yeah? You can come to our store there, and I can tell you a bit more, right? I want to be your mentor, and I want you to give me that opportunity, to personally mentor you and nurture you. I've done this for over 3,000 Nigerians, both living in Nigeria and living in Africa. That's why they call me the data evangelist. And I've brought this evangelism here. I hope you will all come. I want to shake your hands. I want to say hello. I want to hear everything that you know about data. I want to tell you what I know so that we can both connect. I see these police officers working towards me. But anyway, see you all.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So, to come over to the booth. Yeah. Okay. All right. You guys don't have a platform. I think my most likely is going to break it. Oh, okay. Because I think we have a issue. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Adetokunbo. Thank you so much. All right. Great. So that's the data evangelist, and they have a booth right there, Berkeley Data Strategists. So please make sure to go there, make inquiries, and I'm sure you would get all the information that you need. Ada, what do we have next?
We have a lightning talk. Can I have your attention? Data first. Data first. Let's not get tired. Data first.
Africa.
Yeah, so we have a lightning talks. If you've ever wondered how AI could be used in healthcare, because we've done agriculture, media, and everything, we have a lightning talk by Jeffrey Otoibi, and he's going to be talking about AI in healthcare. A round of applause as we bring him up the stage.
Right, a round of applause for Jeffrey as we bring him up stage. He's talking about AI in healthcare. Welcome, Jeffrey. Welcome.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I know we are all tired. I'm also tired. I'm exhausted. But so I will try to make this really fast. All right. So just first decoder-only language model that could handle multitasks in several Nigerian languages. So today I'm going to be talking about how AI is transforming healthcare. But not only that, I'm also going to be talking about the ethical issues facing AI's integration into healthcare, and the challenges that affect the adoption of AI into healthcare. We had a similar session yesterday, so I'm going to be taking a different approach, and I'm going to be dwelling more on the ethical considerations facing AI's adoption into healthcare. All right, so let's start. Next slide. So AI in health represents not just a technical advancement, but also a paradigm shift. We are looking at a sector where we are moving from a sickness management model to a patient awareness model. We are moving from a sickness model to a well-being model. Next slide. Yes, and the reason why this is important is we will start to see that patients are more proactive about their health. They want to know what is wrong with them, and that way they become more satisfied, and they're more likely to comply to any management plans given by any healthcare provider. Next slide. Okay, let's do just a little bit of statistical study here. In 2022, it was predicted that AI in healthcare market would reach a $502 billion valuation. It's a high figure, very suspicious, but that's what it says. About 20% of healthcare institutions are already integrating AI solutions into their institutions. And as we all know, AI is currently fast-tracking the development of new drugs by 70%. Next slide. I have a plot here that shows the impact of AI on healthcare outcomes before and after AI. And what you will see is that there's a 10 to 50% increase in efficiency in several very, very important factors. Like the drug discovery, you see about a 50% improvement before and after AI. You will see a 50% improvement in the cost of treatment of patients before and after AI. Next slide. So what are some of the exciting advancements happening in the different fields in different medical fields that we know? Next. First, we have predictive analytics and risk assessment. Here we have models that currently exist that can predict the likelihood of someone getting a disease by studying the person's genetics, studying the person's lifestyle and environmental factors. And this has been responsible. We've been able to use these models to predict the prognosis of 27 out of 35 cancers well known in the world. Next slide. Yeah, we spoke about drug discovery. So AI is currently cutting the time and the cost of making drugs by predicting potential candidates. But not just potential candidates, we are also looking at prediction of clinical safety, side effects on patients. And this is very important. As we saw in the year 2020, where we had COVID-19, we were able to develop a vaccine for COVID-19 so quickly because there were models that were going through vast amount of data, especially for viruses very similar to the coronavirus. Next slide. AI in surgery. We now have smart robots that can perform basic surgical tasks like stitching. In 2016, there was a smart robot that was developed that successfully stitched a pig's intestine and outperformed human surgeons in that field. Now, while this might be fun and great, please do not give any of your body parts to any smart robot for surgeries. Next slide. This is a very, very important one. We have AI in psychiatry. There are models currently being made that can predict suicidal risk by 90 to 92%. And there are also models that can predict the stages of depression and anxiety by just listening to a patient's voice, or analyzing a patient's text message, or looking at a patient's facial expression. I was opportune to be part of one of these projects, and it was a really great experience. Now, having said that, I would like to let everyone know that if you or anyone in Nigeria is thinking about ending it because of the current economic situation in Nigeria, I would just like to let everyone know that I have these models, and I'll be watching you. I will be watching you. In case you think of committing suicide, I'll be there to watch you. All right? Next slide. Next slide. Okay, here are some other advancements in some other fields. The most notable one here is the forensic medicine. We have 3D convolutional neural networks that are being used to predict the age, the sex, and the facial representation of corpses. These models can also predict the most probable murder weapon used during a murder case. Next slide. All right, so we've spoken about some of the advancements in the medical fields, but how is this AI innovation actually helping patients? What are the real-world examples of how this AI is helping patients, right? It does this in two major ways. The first way is we bring the AI health solution closer to the patient. The second way is that we personalize management plans for patients. Next slide, please. So the first item on the list is personalized treatment plans. Models can now analyze patients' data, like I mentioned before, including their genetic data, and come up with personalized management plans for them. Well, how will this help the patient? It will help the patient because we would have patients being more satisfied and more likely to comply with any drug treatment that has been given to them. Next slide. Mental health support. There are currently AI-driven health platforms that analyze people, analyze the mentally challenged, check out their engagement levels, perform preliminary reviews, and also act as companions. So you could be on your phone and you're talking with a companion, you have a drug addiction, and you're just speaking to this companion about your problems, and it's there for you 24/7. It is analyzing your engagement levels. It is also analyzing your risk of relapse. This is really amazing. Next slide. We have predictive analytics on wearable devices now. Now, thanks to this technology, we are able to collect biological data from patients in their houses. They don't need to come into the hospital. Why is this important? It means that if I have a wristwatch, I could collect vital signs, I could collect your pulse rate, I could collect your respiratory rate, I could collect your sleep pattern, right? I could collect so much from just a single smart wristwatch. And what this would allow me to discover is it can help me predict and figure it out and then intervene earlier. Next slide. AI is not just helping patients at home, it's also helping the healthcare providers. How? By streamlining administrative tasks. We have AI models being used to organize staff scheduling, inventory management, and also to organize patient flow in the outpatient setting. How does this help the healthcare provider and the patient? Well, for the healthcare provider, it enables the healthcare provider to focus on the patient, right? You focus on the patient. And for the patient, it reduces the wait time in the clinic. So a patient comes into the clinic by 9, he sees a doctor within a short period of time, and he can go home. Next slide. There's also the use of virtual assistants in healthcare. So many apps have been developed with virtual assistants embedded in it. And majorly, the most common use of virtual assistants are to answer simple queries, simple medical questions. You have a symptom, you speak to the virtual assistant, it gives you an answer, everybody's happy. And this is really good. Next slide. There's also the use case of robotics. Now, in this use case, we are seeing robotic care providers actually helping the aging population by performing routine tasks like lifting heavy loads and transferring them. Robots are also being used in dispensing medications in the healthcare facilities. Next. So we've spoken about some of the advancements for both patients and hospitals and healthcare providers. Next question is, how do we balance cutting-edge innovation with ethical considerations? Next. Well, as AI tends to take a more important role in clinical health decisions, what we see is that we need to maintain public trust, we need to maintain patient trust and patient safety. Next slide. So the first issue would face be bias and fairness. We have AI models that can amplify any bias found in data. Next slide. Transparency and explainability is very important. If AI models are treated as black box, then healthcare providers will be reluctant to use them. Why? Because they don't understand how it arrives at a particular clinical decision. Next slide. Patient privacy and data security. As we expose AI models to more of the patient data, we have to worry about this because there are sensitive data being contained in this patient's information that we don't want to be let outside. Next slide. Informed consent. Informed consent is very important because we have to we require that patients maintain autonomy. We want patients to be able to determine if they want AI models to help them or if they don't want AI models to help them. Next. Human oversight. Whilst AI technology is really good, we want clinical providers to maintain full oversight over these agents. So the AI technology in itself should be treated as an assistive technology. Next. Liability and accountability. Here we have a very complex ethical and legal landscape. So for example, an AI makes a decision that leads to the death of a patient. Who is to be held responsible? Do we hold the AI responsible, or do we hold the healthcare institution that integrated the AI responsible? For this, we would need to set very, very important, clear clinical guidance that explain the roles and responsibility of everyone involved in the clinical health sector. Next. We also have equity in access to innovation. Next slide. What's going on? I think I'm going to say. Okay, so just move on to the next slide. So let's quickly talk about the challenges facing AI's adoption in healthcare. Next. So AI doesn't follow a holistic approach because there are psychological and social aspects of medicine that AI systems do not consider currently. What's in? It's all right. Why? All right, so in conclusion, I won't be able to finish my slide, so you can just take it to the end. I think whilst we try to develop or integrate AI into the health sector, it's very important that we pay attention to these critical issues while we develop this technology. If not, this technology will not be fully integrated because healthcare professionals will not accept them, and then we will lose patient trust, and these patients will not comply to medications. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Please give Dr. Jeffrey another round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. All right, without further ado, because we have to be out of here as soon as possible, right? But we still have a line of activities for you guys, right? So we have one more lightning talk, 10 minutes talk, and we're bringing, that's why we're bringing up?
We're bringing up Faithful Adeda.
All right, a round of applause for Faithful as it comes up. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I can see everyone is tired now, but we'll just try and finish it up. I need my slides, please. So I know most people have been complaining that they've not been making money from whatever they've been doing, like data scientists, data analysts, data engineers. All right, you don't really need to get a job, first of all, before you make money. You can actually make money from writing. And you can write for data companies, data cloud companies, data companies like Airbyte and various other ones, which I will be showing you today on how you can actually get opportunities and how you can actually utilize this skill of technical writing to go about making money, not because you want to become a technical writer. If you want to become a technical writer, you can as well go into technical writing, but because you understand the skill of what you are actually doing. So we're going to be talking about technical writing / documentation, and our focus here is cultivating a data-driven culture through effective documentation of data products. Next slide. So my name is Faithful Adida. I'm a technical writer with a team for data and AI solutions. I'm also trying to figure out artificial general intelligence. So when you hear the word technical writing, it's not really just blogging. It's not even blogging. It's not like Instablog or any of these blogs you see online. It's actually something technical, right? The technical in writing is actually something you need to understand. So you need to understand some technical terms. You need to become technical. You need to be able to build models. You need to be able to do a data analysis, or let's say build data pipelines. So these are things you need to understand for you to even think of writing in general. Next slide. So this is our agenda for this presentation. I'll be talking about 6 key agendas. Next slide. So what exactly is technical writing? And you may be wondering what technical writing is about. So let's go into what technical writing is. Next slide. So technical writing is the creation and management of written content about a subject that requires guide, instructions, explanation, or analysis for readers to use or engage. And if you see there, we have a beautiful picture of a technical writer who is trying to bridge the gap between the product and the users. So we are always trying to create data models, data products, AI models, all these AI products. But if there is no one to try and explain what these products are about, then nobody's going to engage or use them. Next slide. So we have a problem with documentation. And something about developers or programmers is that it's a common knowledge that they're actually not normal, right? They are not really normal people because they suffer from the cost of knowledge. They actually know too much to the point that they feel that you know everything. And I'll give you an example. yesterday we had a particular AI engineer who came here. I was like, you just have to do some simple mathematics. And some more people in the room were like, what do you mean by simple mathematics? Because it's not really simple to everybody. It has to be relative, basically. So let's look at the challenges of inadequate documentation. So one of the challenges here is that inconsistent documentation across teams can create confusion. And I'll give you an example. A lot of data professionals use different data tools. Like in the case of data engineering, we use like tools like Airbyte, DBT, Apache Airflow, Apache Spark. Let's say in the data scientists, they use tools like Keras, Terraform, and some other various tools basically to create models. So let's say for data analysis, they use tools like Power BI, they use tools like Excel and others. So for you to basically understand how to use a particular tool, those tools have to be documented. Although most of us, we actually use like tutorials to learn most of all these tools. But the thing is that those YouTubers you watch online, they actually source those documentation to create those tutorials you get, because those tutorials will not just appear from anywhere. So it's actually the documentation that they actually source to get better understanding on how the actual tool actually works, so that they can create those documents, those tutorials you actually use on YouTube. So we also have the outdated documentation leads to poor decision making. Poor documentation hinders collaboration between teams, as well as slow innovation and progress. So these are like the challenges we face from documentation. And like I said, we're going to look at some key factors on resources that we're going to use in creating documentation as data professionals or data teams that you can also earn from. So it's not really a free thing. You can earn from it. And some people were complaining that they've been doing this data thing for a while now and they've not earned anything. And every time they finish, they're actually seeing somebody telling them that they have more things to learn. But what if I tell you that you can actually learn as well as earn from what you are doing? You don't really need to just start learning and learning and learning without you earning anything. It's actually a very exhausting thing to do. So let's go to the next slide. So we have a question here from Stack Overflow asked by one of these abnormal developers, which, like I said, most of them they actually suffer from the cost of knowledge because they know too much. So this developer is asking, how do I delete a Git branch locally and remotely? Next slide. And we have this answer here, basically, by another abnormal developer who is trying to explain it to his other programmers, basically, and he's saying, these are the steps you need to take. But something about these steps is that they're actually not explaining the steps well for, like, beginner users, like normal users who basically will not understand what Git is. So it's actually a very confusing step to actually take if you're actually trying to start with Git and you come to Stack Overflow and you see this actual solution. And it's actually going to confuse you because it's not something that you understand. And if you try and run this on your computer, you might actually end up running with some various problems, basically, that can affect your workflows and your processes. So let's look at the next slide, please. So what are the benefits of comprehensive documentation, basically, you may ask. Next slide. We have some benefits here. Comprehensive documentation improves accessibility and usability of data products. Like in the example I gave you, like let's say for various data engineers, they used to like DBT, Airflow, Airbyte, and some other data integration tools. Like data analysis, they use tools like data visualization tools like Power BI, Excel, and others. And for data scientists, they use tools like Keras, Terraform, and others. So these tools, basically, because they are well documented, they actually create this accessibility and usability of these products. If they were not well documented, then you won't be able to understand what this product is about. You will not really understand. You have no idea what it's about, and you don't basically know that there's a thing like that. So clear documentation also encourages broader adoption across an organization. It fosters collaboration and knowledge sharing among diverse teams. Good documentation provides trust in data products and AI models, as well as well-documented documentation drives innovation and reduces confusion. So when the documentation is well documented of a particular data product or data tool, then there's actually less confusion because the data teams or the users or end users of that product will be able to understand and utilize that product for their own benefit. So let's look at the solutions of effective documentation. It's involving diverse teams to capture all perspectives. So this is the case whereby we involve developers and programmers as well, like data teams or data professionals, to capture all perspectives. They may not be able to create a comprehensive documentation that would actually be used by end users, but their own documentation can be collected and can be collected and created, and the design character can actually create a concise and comprehensive documentation for the end users to understand and implement. So we have use of collaborative tools to streamline documentation and version control. For example, documentation as code approach, which involves using tools like Git, GitHub Actions, Markdown, HTML, CSS. Now, I didn't really want to go much into those tools. Let's look at the next slide. So let's look at some technical writing resources. I feel you should take a very good attention on this one because these are like the resources that you need to be able to understand what technical writing is, as well as earn from it. All right, I didn't really want to go into how to earn from it, but I actually created some resources that you can actually look into by yourself so that you can actually earn from the skills you have acquired, not just trying to create models or creating visualization. You need to earn from them, write for companies. I remember the first time I wrote my first article, I wrote for Airbyte, and I actually made about $900, and it was actually nice. I didn't really know I could make money from writing, and it was really a very, very nice thing. So you yourself can also earn from your writing skills or your skills as a data professional by writing about the tools or the actual topic or solutions you are building, and some data companies will be willing to actually pay you for these tools. So let's go to the next slide, please. So let's look at some key takeaways from the presentation. The number one takeaway here is that you need to prioritize technical writing to strengthen your organization data culture. So this is actually for data teams and data products or data companies. You need to prioritize documentation because when your product or tool is well documented, it actually increases usability and accessibility of your products, and it actually helps your products and users to understand how to use them. So we also have number two, good documentation promotes innovation, clear documentation fosters collaboration, as well as creates a historical record of your product. All right, thank you very much for this.
Thank you so much, Faithful. Thank you. All right. Wow. Very quickly, we're going to play a game. How does that sound? Game time. It's going to be a quick one, right? Because we have some gifts that we feel like, let's give them out, right? So, and the games are from today's session, all right? From today's session. So, Ada is our game umpire. I'll just read it out, and then Ada is going to pick who is going to answer the question based on who signifies. So I have a question here. It says, please listen up. I'll only read it one or two times. According to Dr. Olushola Ayola, what should you do before using AI to solve a problem? If you know the answer, please no chorus. No chorus. All right. So Ada, please make your choice. Make your choice.
I want to pick from corners that I haven't gone to.
Okay, from corners. Okay, I like that.
I want to pick from corners I haven't gone to. I haven't come to this corner at all.
He said we should use AI to identify the problem and use AI to solve the problem. Thank you.
Did you guys hear her?
That you should use AI to identify the problem and use AI to solve the problem. Thank you.
That's very correct. By the way, the gifts are from Catwig and Dale. So you can follow them on social media.
Okay. All right, so I'll go to the next question. And this question says, Femi Adekoya mentioned about 5 ways AI can be used in agriculture. Who can mention 3 of those questions? 3 of those questions. Ada, who do you want to pick?
I'm going to.
You have to mention 3. He mentioned about 5, so you should be able to.
Okay, so you know what we'll do? He mentioned about 5, 6. I'll pick 3. I'll pick somebody from there who answer 3, and then somebody from here.
Okay, yeah. So 3 from there, 2 from here. Okay, let's do this. All right. I have one more question. So please.
Disease detection, crop phenotyping, and weed mapping.
Amazing. Thank you. Please give him a round of applause, guys. I mean, come on. Let's celebrate ourselves, right? Thank you. Do you want to take 2 more? Okay.
fruit tree detection, crop yield estimation, crop type classification.
Amazing. Thank you so much. A round of applause for her. Then the last question before we go to the next item on our agenda. Now, this is a quote from Iyi, right? It's a data that he referenced. He said, according to research, and this is the question, according to research, what percentage of income do Nigerians spend on food? I think it was striking for me. Wow, it looks like a lot of people. It looks like a lot. Ada, please make your choice. Make
oh my
your
God,
choice.
this is a very, very difficult choice. I'm going to the back. Oh my God.
All right, looks like a lot of people listened in for Iyi's session.
85%.
85%. Thank you so much. Guys, that means there's a lot of opportunity in the food industry. Using AI for food, it's a lot of opportunity right there. All right, so we move to the next item on our agenda now, and that is the announcement of hackathon winners. And come on. Yeah, you can do that.
A round of applause.
You can do that better. You can. I know a lot of people are waiting for that session to come, all right? So we are right there. So please, I'll make welcome the team from Dicey Tech. I hope I pronounced that well. Hackathon winners. How many of us participated in the hackathon? With a show of hand. Wow, only 2 people. You participated in the hackathon, please, with a show of hand. All right, great. I'm sure you learned a lot while doing that project, right? So, Dicey Tech? Okay.
Hello, everyone. DataFest. Oh, that's not the kind of response I was hoping for. DataFest. Okay, we are here to announce the winners of the hackathon. So I'm just going to do a little introduction of the hackathon team and what we try to do during this year's hackathon. My name is Belumi, and with me here is Ife, and other members on the team who are not present here but who are with us virtually, Paul, Malcolm, and the rest of them. Paul, Malcolm, and everyone, they are here with us. We have been working together on the hackathon for the past couple of months. So this year's hackathon was designed to tackle a particular problem in Africa. And we tried to look at what are the prevalent problems that we have within, in this part of the world. And we decided that education was a very important problem because we looked at the statistics and we saw that, the numbers that we were getting from JAM in terms of the pass and the failure rate was not very encouraging. So we decided to look at how we can use data and AI to tackle some of these problems. And interestingly, we got some very, very interesting solutions. And I have to give kudos to every team that participated in this year's hackathon. If you are here anywhere, please give a round of applause for yourselves. I must mention that the kind of solutions that we got during this year's hackathon superseded even our own expectations. It's been very mind-blowing. We had teams build end-to-end enterprise data solutions, and I can say that we have very, very interesting solutions that we're going to be rolling out and showing, everyone as time goes on. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the sponsors of this year's hackathon on stage to present awards to the winners. So Team RedTech Africa, please make your way to the stage. RedTech Africa.
Hi, everyone. The moment we've been waiting for has just finally come. Who agrees with me? Can I see your hand? Awesome, awesome. So my name is Dolamo Shomi, and I'm joined by
Dapo
Olaume. So we're both co-founders of RedTech Africa. And RedTech Africa basically is a company that focuses on resourcing, education, and technology. And we also sort of have a number of products that we're building. One of the products we built is actually Dicey Tech. A lot of you might be familiar with Dicey Tech platform. is actually the platform that was used for the hackathon. So a lot of the teams worked on that platform that we built. And really and truly, I don't want to go into too much details because we've been here for a very long time, but what we plan to do is to be the go-to platform for hackathons across Africa when it comes to datathons and things like that, when it focuses on data and AI. And we're here today to actually present to the winners, the runners-ups of this wonderful hackathon. So, can we give them a drum roll? So that's it. Like I said, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So we would like to acknowledge the second runner-up.
And the award for the second runner-up goes to Numerica.
Numerica,
I hope
yeah.
I pronounced that well. Numerica.
Numerica. Team Numerica is the second runner-up. Are they here? Anyone in the team that wants to?
There's one you.
Yeah, actually, you need to actually. There is a prize to be won. So, yeah, give them a round of applause. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. So we're now going to invite the runner-up to the stage.
This goes to Team Starlighters.
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 Let's give them a round of applause. Let's encourage them. It wasn't easy. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Sorry?
All the winners to come back on stage and take a picture.
Okay, after this.
Sorry. There was a mix-up. So, anyways.
We're going to call the other team to come on stage.
Take the pictures again.
Yeah, we're going to call the team on stage now to come and take pictures. So, Numerica, can you come on stage?
Numerica, please.
Numerica, can you come on stage? Where are they? Yeah. And we'll also call Team Kaizen. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Stay there. Yeah. Let's take a picture. Yeah. Yeah, let's take a picture.
The money is what should be important to you. Well, I agree with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry about the mix-up. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. And now, we're going to call on the winner of this hackathon for DatafestAfrica 2024 is Team Kaizen.
Number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up
Can we have all the winners on stage, please? Numeric, the first, second, and third teams. Can you make your way to the stage, please?
All the winners on stage, please. The first, second, third, please come up stage for a group photograph.
Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up.
All right, thank you very much.
I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And DJ, thank you. DJ, thank you. So to the winners, right, we also have book gifts, right? So please, book, can you, yeah, please meet with her. You have some book gifts also if you like to grab those books. Awesome, right, it's photo time, all right? So we're going to call on the organizers. Guys, please listen up. As I bring the organizers up, I need you to please give a round of applause because these are the brains, all right, behind DatafestAfrica Africa 2024. So please, as I bring the organizers up, please give a round of applause to celebrate them. Organizers, gifts, please come up stage for your photograph. Mayokun, AY. Please come up stage. So, where are they? Organizers, please come up stage. Okay, while we do that, DJ, please, you can still give us some music.
Organizers, please.
All right. Okay. Guys, please, as the organizers come up, I need a round of applause. DJ, it's not stand up again now. DJ, that music is not for me. Alpha, give me a music that organizers can dance to, please. All right. I mean, DatafestAfrica Africa 2024 has been a huge success. All right, thanks to every one of you in this building. I really think we should give ourselves a round of applause, right? Thank you. All right, now, I am wondering, you cannot even clap for yourself. How do you want to clap for our organizers? How far now? Please, let's give ourselves a round of applause, guys, for making this year's DatafestAfrica Africa. Bro, you are not clapping. What's going on? Yeah, celebrate yourself now. Celebrate yourself. All right. Please, a round of applause for our coordinators, our organizers, as they come off stage for their photograph session. So please. All right. Yeah, please come off stage. I think this. Please don't leave yet. We are still going to take a group photograph. Everyone, so please don't leave yet. All right? If you want to feature in the photograph, which I think you should, please don't leave yet. All right, so after the organizers, we would have all the volunteers taking a group picture. All right. So the volunteers, please move closer. So you'll be going up next. All right. Please don't leave yet. We still have photo op sessions. All right. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, organizers. Thank you so much. All right. So we're having the volunteers. Guys, I need the volunteers to join the organizers. Please, organizers, don't go yet. Don't go yet. AY, don't go yet. Volunteers, please come up. I mean, you guys made this happen. All right, all volunteers, please come up stage to join the organizers. You made it happen. All right, General, we need you up stage. General, all volunteers, please come up stage. Please, let's do this together. Thank you so much. And then afterwards, we'll have a group photograph, right? All right, please, let's move to the back. Move to the back. Move the back.
Down to earth, guys. Before we will run.
Okay, down to earth, guys.
Okay, you are summarized. Down to earth.
DatafestAfrica. Wow, thank you very much. Amazing. All right, as we wrap up, we need to take a group photograph. I don't know the magic that our photographer is going to perform. Photographer. You stay here. All right, guys, we want to do something really creative. Amazing. So, guys, we have an idea because we want to have a group photograph now. So, please, everyone, if you can make your way to the front, just leave your seats, make your way to the front. We have a drone, right, so that will help us capture everyone, right? So please make your way to the front. If you can hear me, if you're outside, DJ, please bring it down, bring it down. This is a very important information. So please, guys, we want to take a group photograph, right? That you are here for DataFest Africa 2024, all right? So please make your way to the front. Come up stage if you can. Come up stage if you can. Use the stairs. Come up stage. We're going to take an area picture. All right, and I want us to do this together. Please, don't leave your belongings on the chair. All right? Come up stage with your belongings. After now, will be done, right? Yeah, if you can sit on the stairs, that's perfect. But please, let's all come up stage. Well, if you are sitting on the chair, you're wrong. So please come up stage, come up stage, come up stage. We have more space on the stage. Please come forward. Oops, sorry.
Please
come up stage, come up stage, come up stage. Come to the front. Let's do this together. Yes, you can do selfie if you want to. Come up stage. All right, we still have more space right there. More space in the front if you want to. Yeah, all the pictures. All right, we're going to be posting all the pictures, right? So you can, find your pictures there. Then I think there might be a shared folder, right? So very likely. All right. If you can hear me and you're on your seat, please make your way to the front for the group photograph. All right. No, don't worry. There's an area picture, so the drone is going to capture everyone. So don't worry. But then I hope you can. So when I say data first, you say Africa. But when you're saying Africa, I need you to give an attitude, right? Do all that, give an attitude, a facial attitude. Don't go and punch somebody. Don't punch somebody. Facial attitude, So can we do that together? Data first, Africa! One more time. Data first, Africa! Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. One more time. One more time. I didn't say go now. I just said amazing. All right, so guys, the drone is right here. Guys, I didn't say go now. I said amazing. I said amazing. All right, guys, thank you very much. All right, listen up, right? We have a drone, right? So I want us to do Data First Africa again and again. All right, so when I say Data First, you say Africa. Data First. Africa. Data First. Africa. Data First. Africa. Data Community. Africa. Amazing. So give an attitude, yeah. Amazing, amazing. Group. All right, great. So thank you so much, guys. We wish you a very beautiful, beautiful evening and the rest of the year. Thank you for coming. All right, so you find pictures on our social media handle. All right, so thank you, thank you, thank you.